My Sorcerer's room is a steampunk and industrial style boiler room, which my Sorcerer has inhabited, bringing a lot of their magical items into it, such as potions which provide colour. My Sorcerer character is an alchemist who suffers from paranoia due to what they believe is a government conspiracy. This shines through in my room in a disorganised placement of assets, showing that they cannot focus on anything else but the conspiracy. The centrepiece of my room is my boiler, the main tank taking up a lot of space on the ground, and the large piping structure above it making the room feel more cramped as it lowers how high the roof is. Piping throughout the room can also be seen coming in and out of walls, suggesting a larger piping network, and cogs coming off the boiler suggest an internal mechanism. Crates throughout my room take up a lot of empty space, making the room feel more cramped. My potions emit a coloured light, which provides the only colour to my room and contrasts with the dark metallic textures of my structure. The boiler also emits a red light, suggesting heat and a flame inside the main tank. The window emits a white light, being quite natural, suggesting that there is a world above this room. The desk lamp is the only form of electrical light, contrasting with the darkness. My book access are strewn about the room in stacks and random fashion. Bookshelves are stocked with potions, scrolls, and books in no particular pattern, and the desk is untidy, suggesting how disorganised my Sorcerer is. Overall, my steampunk room is cold and dark, however the magical parts of it and my Sorcerer presence provide colour. Sorcerer's room, being an oversimplified version here. A note tells them to go to the market to meet a NPC, which interacting with will complete the level. Progressing out of the room, my player will have to traverse through the corridors of the building to get to street level. At street level, they can see a window back into the Sorcerer's room. I can also see the first glimpses of a landmark that the player can use throughout the level to reorientate themselves. Going around the corner, the player sees a sign pointing to a right path leading to the market. However, that path is blocked by a barrier which they cannot pass. The player must then look around to try to find an alternate route. That alternate route being a doorway which leads to a staircase that will lead to the rooftop portion of my blockout. In the rooftop portion, my player will have to cross bridges and jump over gaps to progress further. The player can see the landmark more now here, and can also look back to see where they have been and also partially where they are going. The player will then have to cross the bridges and jump through over gaps. This first gap being a sort of tutorial to the jump mechanic, being an easier jump. Upon reaching the building at the end of the rooftop area, they will have to jump out of a window into another window of an adjacent building, jumping over a gap, much larger than the one before. The player must then do something similar with the largest gap they have encountered, providing more challenge. Upon completing that, the player can again look back to where they have been, a key feature of my level, and also fully look at where they're going now, with the landmark now being fully visible. Crossing over the bridge to the next rooftop, the player may be confused as to where to go. However, there is a light source pointing to over the edge where, if they look down, they will find a safe space to drop down. The player is now on the other side of the barrier that they could not cross. Being in the marketplace, the player must explore this area to try find where the NPC is. A light will draw them to this fence, which, upon further inspection, has a gap in it. This gap leads to where the NPC is located. Interacting with this NPC will complete the level.